boys and girls. Well, our story right now is called Pumpkin Day, Pumpkin Night. What an interesting way to put the words. They've put some words across horizontally and some words down vertically. What an interesting thing to do. Pumpkin Day, Pumpkin Night. So, I wonder if you can do things with your pumpkin in the day and things that you can do with your pumpkin in the night. I wonder if it's the same or if it's different. When I think about what I do in the day, yeah, those aren't the things that I usually do in the night. I usually do something different. Well, let's find out what this little boy does. And the story is by Anne Rockwell, and the pictures are by Megan Hazley. So Anne was the author, and Megan, she's the illustrator. And our back cover has the moon on it, showing us that it is the nighttime. It's got that darker gray sky that you would see in the night. Interesting. Title page looks pretty neat. Pumpkin Day, Pumpkin Night. I see that he is catching something. Do you see what he's catching? Yeah, leaves. I think it might be fall or autumn. I know it's pumpkin time, when leaves turn red, yellow, and orange. Those are warm colors. And they're called warm colors because they kind of remind us of a fire, and a fire is warm. The squirrels know it's pumpkin time too, and collect seeds and nuts in their cheek pouches. They're getting ready for winter. They know that when pumpkin time comes, winter can't be far away. As we know, the 4 seasons go in a cycle, and we know that we have summer, fall, winter, spring. So he's right. Wintertime is coming. At school, we draw faces on paper pumpkins that we cut out of orange construction paper. We write our names on them. We tape our paper pumpkins to the classroom window so everyone walking past my school will know that pumpkin time is here. That's pretty neat. They stick it on the window for everyone to see. Now, I go to school in the day. I don't go to school at night. And these people are going walking around in the day. Probably wouldn't do that at night. At home, I draw more pumpkin faces. Some look like this and some like this. But I've decided I like the one with the biggest, widest grin of all. I see he's cutting out those pumpkins, and I see over here he has a snack. Cutting out pumpkins and having a snack, that's not something I would do at night. I would do that in the day, maybe in the afternoon. Finally, it's pumpkin day. My mother and I get in the car and drive to the farmer's market. They're going to probably get some goods. Baskets overflow with ears of Indian corn. There are apples, too, that smell crisp and tangy sweet, just like fall. The same old scarecrow stuffed with straw lies sprawled exactly where he was last year, across a big pile of pumpkins. So I see this farmer has a little farm stand, a stall, where you can buy items. So that means that you're giving the farmer an income for the goods that he has grown for us. There are so many of them, more than I can count. I don't want just any pumpkin, though. No, I want a pumpkin that is as big and round and orange as the setting sun. Wow, those are good adjectives. Big, round, orange. Those all describe what he is looking for. This pumpkin is too tall and skinny. This round one still has some patches of green. Ah, this is the biggest pumpkin I've seen. It's big, round, and orange. But I think it's much too big to be my pumpkin. It won't even fit in the car. Wow, that's a big one. And I can tell that it won a prize. It has a prize ribbon on it. These are the smallest pumpkins I've ever seen. Oh, look, Jeffrey, my mother says as soon as she sees them. Look at these cute little pumpkins. No, I think those pumpkins are much too little to be my jack-o'-lantern. I shake my head. Oh, but they're not too little for pumpkin pies, my mother says. The little ones are the sweetest ones of all. She buys 10 of them. Awesome, and we can see some money that she is going to give the farmer for the goods of 10 little pumpkins to make a pie. But I don't want 10 little pumpkins. I just want one big one. So I look some more. And then suddenly, right behind the scarecrow, I see it. I see my perfect pumpkin. It is on the grass where it had rolled away from the others. I think it was there waiting for me. I hold my perfect pumpkin carefully on my lap, going home in the car. Beside me, in a paper bag, are my mother's 10 little pumpkins. I can't wait to get home, I say. Neither can I, she says with a smile. Well, I can tell it's getting closer to the nighttime now. I can tell because it looks like the sun is setting. The sky is getting darker and I can see some stars. So my time of day is definitely changing. I sit at the kitchen table and carefully draw a face on my pumpkin. I copy the picture with the wide grin. My mother cuts into the top with a sturdy stalk. She makes a circle cap that comes off and fits neatly back on my pumpkin. So she's cut around the stalk, and then that way they can lift it off, scoop out all those insides, I guess. I scoop the slimy seeds from inside the pumpkin. I put them in a pan and sprinkle them with oil and salt. My mother roasts them in the oven, along with 10 little pumpkins for pumpkin pie. The kitchen begins to fill with a nutty, yummy smell, while my mother carves out the face on my pumpkin exactly as I drew it, with the grin exactly as wide as I wanted it. So he's holding the plan, and she's copying the plan that he drew on the pumpkin. Ooh, definitely darker now. We can tell it must be a little bit colder. He's put on his hood and a jacket with long sleeves. While we wait for the little pumpkins to finish baking, my mother and I put on warm jackets and go outside. I carry my pumpkin to the old cast iron table next to the porch swing, and I put it down. I put a fat candle inside where the seeds used to be. My mother lights it. As soon as she does, my pumpkin has a mysterious, grinning glow. And that glow will show better at the nighttime than it would in the daytime. There we go. Jeffrey, that's the greatest jack-o'-lantern I've ever seen, my mother says. I smile because I know that what she says is true. I watch my pumpkin glowing in the night. That is definitely a good one. It is a pumpkin night. Almost all the leaves have blown away. The trees stretch their bare black limbs across the sky. I can see every single star up there, I think. Look, Mom, I say. The stars are so bright. The stars in the sky are very bright, that's true. But they're not as bright as my pumpkin. It glows a fiery orange on a dark and starry night. So that is definitely something I can do at night. Put out my jack-o'-lantern so that it glows. I wonder if you can think of some things that you do in the day that are different than the things you do at the night. Think about it. What's some things you do in the daytime that are different from the nighttime? Scroll on down and tell me all about it.